The Millionaire Fastlane is one of the best-selling books written by author DeMarco, who says you can get rich quickly. I can assure you this is not one of those fraudulent books that promise to make you rich overnight. This was one of the most revealing books for me personally. It completely changed the way I invest my money. If you are an entrepreneur-minded person who wants to get rich quick, enjoy life while you are young and create a business that loves you, then this video is for you. In the first part of the video, I will summarize the author's strategy to get rich quickly, and in the second part will talk about the 5 rules that every entrepreneur must follow. According to the author, there are only 3 types of financial paths you can take. 1. The sidewalk. 2. The slow lane. 3. The fast lane. People who take the sidewalk live well today at the expense of having more security tomorrow. How the author explains those who walk on the sidewalk see debt as an asset and value spending over savings. Most importantly, those who walk on the sidewalk live a life of instant gratification and make long-term plans. It's important to note that walking on the sidewalk doesn't mean that you are poor. There are many rich people like athletes and celebrities who earn a lot of money, but who spend like there is no tomorrow. The second type of financial road, and the one that most people choose to take, is called the slow lane. Those in the slow lane sacrifice today in order to be better in the future, and it is the opposite of walking on the sidewalk. This is also another bad choice because wealth is best enjoyed when you are young and healthy and not after decades of work that sucks your soul. Those in the slow lane sacrifice their Monday through Friday to enjoy the weekend. This is like exchanging $5 for 2. Another problem with the slow lane is that they expect their long-term investment in compound interest to enrich them. However, compound interest does most of its work at the end of the waiting period. When you take a look at the table showing that investing $10,000 at 15% interest will yield $2.5 million in 40 years, it sounds great. However, what most of the slow lane never realize is that their investment is $600,000 in 30 years and $160,000 in 20 years. Which means that a lot of the money accumulates in the last decade when you are very old. You really want to be a 60-year-old guy driving a Ferrari. I'm sure that you want to drive it being young and full of life. However, it is very difficult to do it if you are in the slow lane. The author says that having a job limits your wealth. Apart from that, the experience you accumulate is limited. You will learn much more by managing your own business in a month than by working for someone else for a year. You also have no control over your income because your salary is highly dependent on other people. The author warns his readers about the advice of financial gurus. Some of the so-called gurus rarely get rich by following the advice they give you. In fact, these gurus get rich by writing books and selling seminars and courses. When you receive financial advice from people, make sure what they teach you is something that has really worked for them. The third type of financial road is the fast lane. Fast lane is about business, entrepreneurship, and wealth creation quickly. Some examples of fast lane can be a business that you create, an innovation that you make, a software that you develop, a system that you make, etc. The fast lane is about getting rich quickly, but it's not the same as getting rich easily. It will be a lot of work, and you can spend 10 years focusing on your business before achieving the type of success you want. The benefit is that once you have reached the desired level, you will have the freedom to do whatever you want for the rest of your life. The fast lane mentality requires you to take responsibility. Taking responsibility is admitting when you are to blame for something and constantly improving. On the fast lane, you can increase your income and even double it, but this isn't possible in a slow lane. The next time you go to the office, try to ask your boss to increase your salary from $2,000 per month to $4,000 per month, and you will see what happens. And in terms of wealth creation, the goal isn't to do the heavy work, but to create a system that does it for you. Again, that doesn't mean avoiding work, if not being ingenious, optimizing and automating without rest. For example, suppose you have to build a pyramid with heavy stones. The approach of the slow lane is to carry the stones yourself one at a time, of course, that will take decades. The approach of the fast lane would be to spend the first years designing something that moves the stones for you, a crane, a traction system, whatever. After your initial investment, the pyramid will be easier to build. Once you have your machine, The key to life is to produce instead of consume. Instead of buying products on television, sell the products. Instead of digging for gold, sell the shovels. Instead of looking for work, be an employer and hire for jobs. When you change your thinking and role from consumer to producer, will join the fast lane to create wealth quickly. You might think that the rich are greedy, but in reality the poor are the greedy. If you think a little, you will see that to be rich you have to help others, you have to give something back, you have to build something for others, you have to improve something in society, you have to produce something, you have to invest something. It is the poor who are greedy because they only produce for themselves and think of themselves. Another interesting topic that the author talks about to get rich is called the law of effect. The law of effect says that to earn $1 million you must help 1 million people. The more people you help, the more you give to others, the more you receive. At first this might not make sense, and you can say, how can helping others and giving more can make me rich? For example, you can say, if I go out now and give $1,000 to 100 people, how that will make me rich? You are right, it will not make you rich. This would be a very bad way to help. The most likely thing would be that the people who receive the money from you run to buy something that they don't even need. So what would be a good way to give? For example, suppose you create a pill that cures a disease, or you create some type of product that helps the elderly. This would be a much superior way of giving. That is why Jeff Bezos is richer than the woman you saw at the post office yesterday. Jeff Bezos has created Amazon that helps millions of people to shop safely and easily around the world, but the woman at the post office is primarily helping herself and her family. Please don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to belittle the woman at the post office. If the woman wants to help herself and her family, there is nothing wrong with that, but according to the law of effect, you will not be rich because you are not impacting and changing the lives of many people in a positive way. In the second part of the book, the author talks about the 5 rules that you must obey if you want to build a successful business. You can also use this as a checklist for existing companies to see how strong the foundation of your business is. If you study any successful business 9 times out of 10, you will see that they follow these 5 rules. 1. Necessity. The only reason a business exists is to solve a problem. When problems are solved, money is exchanged. If you solve problems, you make things easier, eliminate inconveniences, provide better service, satisfy desires and cravings, you have fulfilled the rule of necessity. You think that something so simple would be so obvious, but unfortunately it isn't. Today the great business idea is to do what you love and follow your passion, as if the market cared about that. The market doesn't care about that. If you have what I want, you will get my money. The passions, the loves, and your dreams of owning a Lamborghini are absolutely irrelevant. If there are 10,000 personal trainers doing what they love, but only 10 people demand that service, do you think that passion will pay their bills? 2. Entry. The entry rule asks how easy it is to enter the business. If someone on the street can start the business you are in, then you are violating the entry rule. Once again, if entering the business, it is as simple as completing an online form or joining a problem, you are violating that rule. The essence of entrepreneurship is solving problems, and the problem you are solving must have an element of difficulty. The difficulty is in fact the opportunity. If you are one of the entrepreneurs who analyzes potential ideas and complains that it is too difficult, then what you are saying is that you aren't interested in solving legitimate problems. You are looking for easy ways to earn money. The first creates a millionaire, the second creates money chasing people. 3. Control. The rule of control is like the land on which you build your business. You own that land? It's rented or controlled by someone else. Can some person or some company throw the carpet under your feet and cause a commercial catastrophe? One day you are earning $10,000 and the next you are not earning anything. If 100% of your customers come from a free search on Google, you are violating the control rule. A change in the Google algorithm can kill your business. If 99% of the sales of your product comes from a platform, you are violating the control rule. YouTube can remove you from its platform without much explanation, and as a result your company goes from being a number with many zeros to 0 without you have done something wrong. That is why that the author doesn't recommend relying only on a third party. 4. Scale. You can scale or replicate your product with relative ease. Please don't confuse this with the entry rule that is your initial entry into the business. Scaling consists of easily replicating the difficult problem you solved. For example, if you create a software service that solves a problem in the dental field, your solution may take 3 months to build, but the difference between that solution that serves 10 clients and 1,000 clients doesn't have a direct correlation. You get 10 times the profit, but you don't have 100 times the work. 5. Time. According to this rule, your product or service must exist without being connected to you. Your product can be offered while you are away or doing something else. The essence of the rule of time is to get away from the worst relationship ever created, which is time for money. Whenever there is a creative effort independent of you, it can also be sold independently of you without exchanging time for money. If you comply with these 5 rules, your business will honor you with results that will change your life. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe. See you next time.